Hey friends, you are crafting with Kim Byers at the Celebration Shop, and today we are working with printable vinyl. So I'm going to show you how to use that print then cut feature on your Cricut Explore Air or on your Cricut Maker and all the fabulous things that you can do with it. I love printable vinyl because if I don't have a specific color of material in my studio and I want to, or a pattern, I can put all of that into Cricut Design Space, print it out on my printable vinyl, and it matches perfectly with whatever I'm, trying to create, and I don't have to go to the craft store. So if you would like to learn all about print then cut, then today is your day. So let's hop over to Cricut Design Space. I'll show you what it's all about, and then we'll come back to the craft table and we'll put it all together. And if you like what I'm doing here today, guys, I really hope you'll give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space. So all I've done is I went in through the home page and I just opened up a new canvas. So you just want to click new. And I've gone ahead and created one of the labels. So these are just small pennants that I put each of the subjects on. And these are a bit more teen or tween and very girly. In the next couple of days, I'm going to do some that are a bit more elementary. So if you want to tune in for that, but these are going to show you just the basics of how to do print then cut. There's a couple of steps to make it perfect, and so let me kind of walk you through that. So the first thing we're going to do is go into images, and I am going to grab a pennant. Now you could of course grab any shape that you wanted to, but I'm just going to grab a general pennant shape. So we'll take this one and insert the image. So now I have this and I want to rotate it or turn it on its side so that I can easily add text to it. Okay, and so if you just grab at the corners and you reduce the size, it's still a little fat, or at least I felt like it was a little fat. So what you can do with this shape or any is if you go over to the lock and you unclick it, now you can actually, you see how this went? So when it's locked, there's an arrow going two ways. When you unlock it, it goes all four. So this means that you can keep it or make it disproportionate to its original design. So I'm going to make it a bit skinnier. And now once I'm happy with that, I'm going to relock it. So then that way, if I do decide I want it bigger or smaller, it's kind of the new shape. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is go up and just turn it the color of the one I created for English. Now you'll notice that there's a black line around this pennant, and that's telling you that this is going to cut. Okay, so this is a cut file. So if you go and make it right now, it's going to put this and this on two separate mats because this top one is a print then cut. You see it here, print then cut. And this one, if you look over into layers, is just a cut. So you would actually have to use cardstock or something. So we're going to turn that into a print then cut file. So if we go up into fill and we hit print, do you see how it loses the black? That's telling you that now it's a print then cut file. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to add text to this. So I'm going to go into the text and I am using the font Monday Bold. So I'm going to type math. Okay, so here are my letters. Now you notice when you look at English how it's all together and this math is very spread out. So the first thing I like to do is go up into letter spacing, and I'm just going to reduce it down to 0. Now every font is different, so some you won't have to go all the way to 0, others you'll have to go even further. For this one I can still see a gap between the A and the H, so I'm actually going to reduce it just a little bit more. Okay, so now it's all one piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over onto my pennant and reduce its size. I want it to be a bit more like the word English. Okay, so now a couple of things we want to do. So this is currently a cut file, and each of the letters is separate. So the first thing I like to do is I like to weld my letters. So now that's one cut. It's not an M, an A, a T, and an H. It's literally the word math. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and change it to the color that I want it to be. Now you notice it has that black line like before. This is still a cut file. So we need to click on it and go up into fill and hit print. So now it's turned to where it is a print then cut. Now the thing is this is currently still a print then cut by itself, and then the pennant is a print then cut. And what we want to do is we want to not only just attach it, because that attaching it would make them be together, but we are actually going to center them and get them every way that we want it to be, and then we're going to flatten it. I'm going to reduce the size just a smidge more, and then what we're going to do is if you click on the pennant and then use your shift key and you click on the word math, and if you go up into a line, you can align it horizontally or you can align it vertically. So I'm going to align it vertically, just meaning that it's going to be the same distance from top and bottom. Now if I did it horizontally, which you can, it's going to take into consideration this peak piece here, and so it's going to be measuring all the way to that edge, and that would just make it look off center because of course it'd be closer to the end of the pennant. So I'm going to actually make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to stick with it being at one edge. Okay, so now I have these two pieces. I'm just going to grab them both at one time. You can do it this way, or you can go over into your layers and just click on both. And now once I have both of those, I'm going to flatten them. So now instead of being two separate print then cut pieces that are attached, I flattened it. So now these are literally just one element. So now you can go ahead and duplicate that same process for all of your subjects. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I went ahead and did all of our subjects, and now I wanted to make some labels to go over the top of, like on composition notebooks, there's like that weird square, and I found these really darling composition notebooks, but it has the square, that you can write in, and I thought how fun would it be to put labels over top of that that were sort of custom or matching the notebook. So I found one that had these really cool palm leaves and things on it, and it's these two colors. So I wanted to show you, it's the same concept of what we did, but this time instead of just using a pennant, we're using shapes. And so there's a couple of tricks that you can do when you're trying to find a shape that you want to write on top of. So for instance, let's do the palm leaf. The frame is a little more straightforward. It's just two different colors, and I will show you how to use the contour tool with the palm leaves. So if we go into images, and these are the palms that I use. So you have all these holes and things in them. So let's select that and bring it in. Okay, so we're going to move this over. I'll show you guys how to do this real quick. And I want the two palms. I don't want this one, but I don't want all those holes in it, right? I need there to be a solid area where I can write on top of it. So what we're going to do is we go over into the layers panel. And if you notice, there are 4 cuts. So there's actually a white set that's behind these. So what you can do is you can turn off the leaves that you don't want, and then you can even turn off the green, and you're just left with the white. And then if you click on this and you go to contour, you can actually hide all contours. So what you're left with is just the outline of the palm. And if you close that, so see, now you're just left with palm leaves. And so you can go up into fill, we'll make that print, and then choose a color. So we're going to choose that same color. And then again, it's the same process as before. So if you look at the frame here, I believe this font is called Adelaide. And so it's sort of a wispy, curly font. And I will tell you that every font is different, and so for this one I actually typed it in 2 different lines because the A and the DDY were so spaced apart. When I tried to bring the D's together, they wanted to overlap the A. So sometimes you can just do a text box, do the A, do a text box and do the DDY, and then pull them together. And then once they're together, you can attach them so that they don't move, and it looks like, it looks like you typed it all in one time. Now with this one, this font is called Algebra. It's very simple. It's perfect for younger kids, that maybe aren't into cursive just yet, or it's just a clean look. So what you can do is, again, what we did over here, you just open a text box, you type on top of it, and then when you're ready to send all of these to the mat, just make sure that you've, attached them and you've flattened them so that they are one element. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hide this one, and we'll go ahead and hit save. Just want to make sure that everything we did here doesn't get lost. Okay, and so at this point you want to make sure that you have the right machine, and so I'm going to be using the Maker, but you click on this and you can choose, you cannot do Joy for print then cut, but you can use the Maker or one of the Explore machines. So I have the Explore Air 2 and it works great with that machine as well. So now let's go ahead and select Make It. Okay, so now that we're at this point, you see everything is on one sheet and there's a bounding box here. So what's going to actually happen is you're going to take that piece of printable vinyl and you're going to put it in your printer just as if you were putting in a sheet of paper, and it's going to print the items that you created, and it's going to print this bounding box, and this black box is going to be read by your Explorer or your Maker so that it knows exactly what to cut. So let's go ahead and select Continue. Okay, at this point you have a couple of things going on. So I am using a printer, and I'll show it to you, but I'm using a printer that's an air printer. So basically it doesn't have to be connected to my computer. It doesn't really matter which one you use, just use your normal home printer. And if you started this project and you got all the way to this point and actually printed, and then something called you away and you didn't get a chance to cut it out, you have this option here to say, I've already printed it. And so you can do that and it'll take you into being able to actually cut it on your machine. But if you look over here, you can see what it's going to look like on the mat. If you select Edit, you can, check everything out. And but what it's telling you here is warning, if you make any changes to this, then you may have to reprint it, right? Because the machine knows that this is where everything is. So we don't want to make any changes. So we're just going to hit done. And then we can go ahead and send to printer. Now at this point, it's giving you a couple options. So this is my printer, the Canon MG7700. It's not a very expensive printer. It's available on Amazon, and the ink is not crazy expensive. I actually really like this printer a lot. And then you can add a bleed or you can leave it off. I'll be honest with you guys, I add a bleed. And what this means is it's printing just a little bit additional all the way around your design so that it gives it kind of like an edge for error or a little bit of opportunity for error there in the Cricut machine. And we're talking about a very small amount. So if you print it off and you're like, oh my goodness, it looks fuzzy at the edges, that's just your bleed. It's not a big deal. And you could go without a bleed if you didn't want to do that. You only risk seeing maybe a very small amount of white around some of your edges. Okay, so then system dialog. And this is, it says important, after clicking print, your print dialog will appear. So if you have a really unique printer or it's got a lot of options in it and you just want to make sure that it's printing maybe like the highest quality, this is what you would do so that you see the dialog for your printer. So let's just go ahead and hit print. Design, which I don't really necessarily need to do, but here in quantity, I could, quality, I could actually go best if I wanted to. So that's just going to make sure that my printer is printing it at the highest quality. Okay, so now that goes away and I'm able to select my base material. So I want to choose printable vinyl, and that just makes sure that my fine point blade is going to, push down on that printable vinyl at the right depth. Okay, so we're ready to go on over and put it on the mat and load it into the printer, and then we'll take it from the printer to the Maker. So here we are on the craft table, and let me share with you what we're going to work with today. So I have my Cricut Maker. You can also use your Cricut Explore Air 2 to do print then cut. I have a green mat, my scraping tool, my weeding tool. I have some blanks, water bottle, pencil pouch, notebooks, and I have printable vinyl and I have printable sticker paper. I'm going to be using printable vinyl today, but printable sticker paper is also great. I just want to use the vinyl since I'm going to be doing a water bottle, and I would still recommend that you hand wash your water bottle. Okay, so let's move everything out of the way and get our mat set up for our first cut. Okay, so we are going to take our printable vinyl and we're just going to take a sheet of it like if we were, just taking a sheet of paper, and we're going to insert it into the tray. So I'm taking out my regular paper, and then my tray has us placing it flat down, meaning good side down. So just look to see whatever the instructions are within your printer. So we're just going to put it in just like a normal sheet of paper. Close the tray. And then if we've already selected that on our computer, it's going to, you know, send it over to our printer and start printing just like normal. So see, it's coming out with the bounding box. So now what we do is we take this over and put it on a mat and then put it inside of the Maker. Okay, and so I've just placed it on a mat, literally just laying it down like a sheet of paper. And now we're gonna put it under the feeds. And now we're going to select cut. And the machine is going to recognize the bounding box, and then it's going to go back and cut out each individual piece. So do you see the light? This is actually reading the bounding boxes, or the bounding box. Now it's actually cutting out each individual piece, and it's cutting off a little bit of that bleed that we talked about. Okay, so here we are back on the craft table. So we've cut everything out, and now all we need to do is to remove our printable vinyl from our mat. Now remember, when we do this, we always bend the mat and not the material. So we'll turn it on its back and just bend the mat and get the material off. Okay, and so now it's literally as easy as stickers. So you'll just grab whichever one you want to use. So this is the composition notebook that I was mentioning before. And the thing that I absolutely love the most about Print Then Cut is the fact that I was able to make something without the paper, without going to the craft store. I was able to simply print something that would match this without hunting for a particular cardstock and then trying to adhere it, you know, to the book. So this seems or looks so professional. It's so fun. So then if I want to grab this one and put it over this composition book piece, then I'm able to grab that. And so do you see what's left? This is the bleed I was talking about. And this just ensures that you don't get any white space. So then we're able, and I probably should have made it just a smidge bigger, although maybe it's not going to be noticeable because it's going to look kind of like, might print another one just a little bit larger than that. But how cute is that, right? So then we're able to personalize that. And then I have these fun little notebooks and things that I got from Target, and I thought how fun it would be to put the subjects on them. So then if we grab one, so say we grab English, and again, it's a lot like a sticker. Flip it over and bend the material so it pops out. And then we just take that and then we put it from the top down. And how cute is that? Perfect. And you could do this with the child's name or whatever the case is that you wanted to label. I adore Print Then Cut. Okay, so what did you think? That was actually pretty easy, right? So Print Then Cut is really not that difficult to do, and you can truly create completely anything that you want just by putting it all together in Cricut Design Space and then sending it to your printer and then having your Cricut cut it out. I personally love the Print Then Cut feature and I use it all the time. So I hope that you will give it a shot. And down below in the description, I put all the things that we used today, including the printable vinyl. And so I hope you'll give me a thumbs up if you liked what we did here today. And I hope that you will hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.